Namaste everyone. Welcome to Friday Talk with Mr. Kandel, a program where we share updates about Canada study from Nepal. Today we are talking about range of topics, especially about the course registration and guidelines for students who will be traveling for Jan intake. We will be also talking about some changes, recent changes that is applicable in the name of international students in Canada. So these are the major topics we are covering in this show. So let's begin the show without further delay. Mr. Kandel, so can we
Yes.
say hello to our
Hello,
audience?
everyone. Namaste, and thank you for watching this show. Yes, this Friday we are going to give you updates on the recent changes made by the Canadian government, (IRCC). You can now work 24 hours per week during your study period in Canada. In your summer break, you can work full time, but during our normal study time, 24 hours you can work. Number one. Number two, there are certain changes while there are, like DLI changes. Previously, there were no complications, but now you have to follow the strict guidelines. So please be connected with us and we can help you, especially those students who are in Canada and trying to extend the study permit, or if you are going to change your DLI, then there are certain rules. So you have to apply for study permit.
So why should you change DLI if you take time and if you talk to experts with going to consultancy?
Yeah.
Then you can actually choose better college and better university and better programs. And there is no point in changing DLI when you land in Canada.
Yes.
So for first and foremost, let's plan like this. And in some cases, in some situation, even if having gone through all the procedures and process, if you are to change, if you are bound to change your program, then we will guide you further, because we have also office in Canada. Our team will be helping you.
Yeah.
So you don't need to worry. So, Mr. Kandel, that was about the recent changes in the name of international students in Canada. So, is there anything we need to cover? Because the other day we also watched video by Justin Trudeau, and he was addressing current scenario, in the context of international students in Canada. Anything, any highlights that we may have to share on
Yes.
audience?
Yeah, honestly, Canada seems like limiting the international students, not only students, the immigrants as well, because every country has their, limits and the policy and on the numbers, and managing those immigrants, students. And Canada has the same thing, and there is nothing to wonder. So Canada is very independent to implement, its policies and changes. So I think for 2 years at least they plan to limit the international students and the immigrants. Having said this, this never means that they are going to reject your visa applications. If you meet the requirements, language requirement, financial program selections, and all that, your chances for getting a study permit is still there. But however, they have intention to limit the international
So
students.
that is from
Yeah. That is it should be 350,000.
350,000.
Yeah.
Yes. And they will be taking this number of
Yes.
students.
So once they are stabilized with the housing and jobs and all the other sort of management, they will be again opening doors more widely for international students. So as of now, they are preparing for the management, how they are going to manage all the immigrants students. So once they do this, and they will again start taking students, and we are very hopeful. And nevertheless, you should be applying to Canada if you think you are like financially strong, if you meet the eligibility criteria.
Yes, correct. Mr. Kandel, when Canadian government are implementing new sanctions, so in the course of these situations, how can we amplify the chance of visa success in the context of established students if they choose like master's degree, or let's say university rather than colleges? So is visa chance, is increased? It's still the same.
Yes, to some extent, we can say if you choose for universities, your chances of getting visa approval is higher. We can assume this, but now IRCC or Canadian government are very clear on what kind of students should be there in Canada or what background of students. For example, they need STEAM, trade, and like healthcare work or food technology, these kind categories of workers are given high preference. That means Canada has long-term shortage of this kind of immigrants.
Yeah.
So now IRCC is clear, we are clear, and we want to make you clear also before applying to Canada. So Canada has already very clear picture on what categories of students they would be welcoming to Canada. So let's visit our consultants here in Gorito Consultancy, and we will give you the list of the programs, colleges, universities where you are going to get PGWP after you complete your study, right? And also that can be the pathway for your permanent residence. So that is different story, but yes, Canada still needs students, but of particular sectors.
Yes,
That's right.
some students, they are asking us questions. Sir, we have got less GPA. Can we apply, for Canada study permit? What is the chance of visa success? So they are asking these questions, and we want to clarify you here. Having, low score does not restrict you from getting admission in college or university. Also, from Canada acceptance of visa from Canadian High Commission, because we have recently many examples where a student with 2.4, Ganesh Podal also got his study permit approved. He has got only 2.4, but there are some techniques which will actually convince visa officers, even if you have low score, that you are eligible, or let's say legitimate students.
Yeah.
So we will help you in that context. You don't need to worry. So that was about Mr. Kandel, some changes. So let's move to next topic. That is about the course registration for January intake. We have many students. They have recently, got their study permit approved for Jan intake. Some of them, maybe they may not have program in the January. So what is the next step? Can they change, subject or program in the same college, or they have to apply for a new study permit if they switch to another program in the same, DI? So let's talk about this topic also. We have bunch of students. They do not have these programs in January, but they have been accepted for September 2025. In this context, how can we actually proceed there?
So yeah, first of all, for January 25, only you need to prepare for the program registration, course registration. Otherwise, you may be missing classes of January 25. So please monitor your emails regularly, which colleges, universities are sending for course registration. So if you have any conditions, sometimes for master's degree, you may be having foundation, you need to go for online foundation programs. And if you have any language conditions, like sometimes you are applying visa, on the basis of 6.5, but you had applied offer letter with is band 6. In that sense, you may be having conditions. So if you cannot change that condition, you are not eligible to apply, register for the program. So make sure these 2 or 3 things, okay? So register for your programs, buy ticket, and also manage to find the accommodation. If you have any problem, let us know and we can help you. Okay, these 3 things you need to be prepared. And other, make the networks with your friends or family who are already in Canada. So please prepare for this. And second, we are going to have virtual pre-departure session because our team members are traveling and we may not be able to physically present in the event and brief you. So we will be soon announcing virtual pre-departure session. Please attend that and you can get all of the information. And third, I would also like to request that we have some Canadian SIM cards here. Please come to Gorito and collect. That is free of cost and it is very convenient when you are in Canada with existing telephone number in your hand. Okay?
Yeah.
So you want?
Yeah, I was asking you, if if it is possible to change the course,
Okay.
the same DLI.
Yes. So if you are changing your program within the same DLI, there is nothing to be worried. But if you are thinking to change the DLI, then you need to apply for new study permit,
and you need to meet all the requirements for that particular program.
so we never encourage you to change DLI unless and until you have problem in the DLI.
Yeah.
Okay. So if, for example, your program was one and which is not eligible for PGWP, college will help you to decide to choose another programs, and you need to choose another program which is PGWP eligible. So changing on that is not a problem. We recommend you to do.
Yes, and regarding course registration, if you encounter any sorts of dilemmas or confusions, you are welcome to visit us, and we have Nirjala ma'am, and she will be personally help you to proceed your course registrations procedures.
Yeah.
So that was all about this Friday, and thank you very much for being with us. We'll come next time. Hopefully, we'll have good news for next episode. Till then, we want to sign off right here.
Bye bye. Namaste.
Stay.